This doctor performed a complicated liposuction on her, and now she's forced to live under his roof. A love that began as an accident has turned into a battle. Will they fight or surrender? Watch till the end to find out. Guys, grab your popcorn, because what you're about to see in this captivating movie will leave you amazed. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we'll be discussing a gripping new Nigerian movie that is more than just entertainment. It carries valuable life lessons you don't want to miss. So let's get into it. The movie begins with a young man named Enoch, who returns home after work only to find his girlfriend cheating on him with another man in his house. They are both in shock. The next day, Enoch packs up his girlfriend's belongings and throws her out of his house. He had already warned her about this kind of betrayal, and nothing could change his mind unless God himself intervened. She agrees to leave but asks to take the car he bought for her. Enoch ignores her request and throws both her and her belongings outside without hesitation. Meanwhile, in a well-furnished apartment, a man named Major is having dinner with his daughters. One of them, Ivy, is serving the table, while the other, Muna, refuses to eat. When Major asks why, she lies, but her younger sister reveals the truth. Muna is on a water diet because she is insecure about her stomach. Their father reassures Muna that anyone who truly loves her will accept her as she is. He uses their mother as an example, saying that she had an even bigger stomach, yet he loved her unconditionally. Encouraged by her father, Muna goes to serve herself food, but recalling the teasing from her friends, changes her mind and goes to her room instead. Once in her room, Muna is hard on herself. Summoning courage, she calls a doctor to schedule an appointment for liposuction. The next day at work, while Enoch is in his office, his ex-girlfriend shows up to plead with him, but he is furious and throws her out. He even instructs the gatemen never to let her in again. Later that day, Enoch discusses the situation with his friend, who advises him to reflect on whether he might have done something wrong in the relationship. However, Enoch insists that he did everything right. He provided for her and fulfilled all her needs, yet she still cheated. Frustrated, he enjoys the rest of the evening with his friend. The following day, Muna packs her bags and informs her sister that she is leaving for Port Harcourt to study an important course. Her sister tries to talk her out of it, but Muna insists on going. Eventually, her sister wishes her well, and Muna departs. Later that day, Ivy prepares to go out for a birthday party and informs her father. When Major asks about Muna, Ivy tells him about her supposed studies, believing that Muna would have called by now. However, when Major hears that she will be staying away for 4 weeks, he immediately decides to call her. 4 weeks later, Muna has successfully undergone surgery and has recovered. The doctor informs her that she is ready for discharge and can now go on with her life. But wait, was this liposuction really necessary? Why do some women still insist on undergoing surgery when there are other trustworthy ways to lose weight? Guys, what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments as we continue watching to see how things unfold. Muna returns home that day, and her sister is overjoyed to see her. She hugs her tightly and immediately notices that Muna's stomach looks much flatter. When asked about it, Muna claims that she was introduced to a special Brazilian tea, which she drank every morning and night, leading to her transformation. Her sister finds this hard to believe. Muna then greets her father, who is also happy to see her, and they all express how much they missed each other. Later that evening, Muna serves herself a huge portion of food and starts eating. As her father walks past her, he is taken aback. The next morning, Muna struggles to stand due to the after effects of the surgery. Her sister comes to check on her, but Muna insists she will join her soon. She then calls the doctor for help. The following day, Muna visits the doctor, who apologizes and assures her that she will be fine as long as she sticks to regular exercise and a proper diet. He expresses regret for the complications she is experiencing. When Muna returns home, her father notices that something is off. Ivy then reveals the truth. Muna had undergone liposuction. Major is furious. He immediately demands the doctor's contact information and calls him. That same day, Major orders his men to bring the doctor to him. When they arrive, Major instructs the doctor to stay with Muna in their house until she fully recovers. Muna has no choice but to obey her father's command, and they leave together. When Muna and Enoch get home, they exchange cold glances. Enoch talks about his expertise in his field, but Muna downplays his skills. Frustrated, he leaves, insisting she should find her own way. Muna, equally frustrated, remains silent. Later, Enoch vents to his friend about everything that has been happening. Although his friend advises him, Enoch refuses to take his words seriously. Instead, they switch to other topics, and Enoch eventually heads inside. Meanwhile, Ivy informs her father that Muna called. She pleads on her sister's behalf, but Major refuses to forgive Muna so easily. He believes she has brought shame upon the family and insists that she must remain with the doctor until she is fully healed. If she tries to fake her recovery, he vows to personally ensure that she suffers the consequences. He makes this statement while continuing his meal at the dining table. Guys, do you think Major is handling this situation the right way? Does Muna deserve this treatment? Share your thoughts in the comments as we continue to see whether she will truly recover. That night, Muna goes to her room to sleep. Meanwhile, Enoch returns from work and knocks on her door countless times, but she doesn't answer. After wandering around for a while, he gives up and sleeps in his car. The next morning, the sound of the gate woke Enoch up. He immediately went to knock on Muna's door, and when she opened it, he gave her a stern warning never to repeat what she had done the previous night because it was his house. When he tried to threaten her, Muna cut him off, making it clear that he could do nothing to her. She spoke dismissively about his house and justified her actions without any remorse, leaving Enoch frustrated as he went to his room. Later that morning, Enoch went to Muna's room and handed her a list of instructions she needed to follow for her recovery. After giving it to her, he left, but Muna ignored it because she was not ready to go through the stress, especially after undergoing surgery. At the office that day, Enoch's secretary came to inform him about a patient who wanted to undergo liposuction. Because of all the stress he was dealing with, he told her to inform the patient that they were on a break for 2 months. His secretary tried to ask why, but he shut her down, making it clear that he was not in the mood for questions. She then left to continue her work. When Enoch got home, he was frustrated to find that Muna had gone against the instructions he had given her. He immediately confronted her about her actions, pointing out that they could have serious consequences for him. However, Muna justified herself, saying she had followed advice she found on the internet. Their disagreement quickly turned into an argument, with both exchanging heated words before Muna walked away to her room to continue resting. Later that day, as Enoch was enjoying some peace, Muna came to ask him for food. When he refused to prepare a meal for her, she resorted to blackmail, using the image of her father to threaten him. This angered Enoch, and he eventually gave in, standing up to fix something for her to eat. However, when he brought her food, she became picky about it. Frustrated, Enoch told her that if she didn't want it, she should go to the kitchen and cook for herself. The next morning, a call woke Enoch up, but he ignored it. He then went to Muna's room, but she refused to open the door. As he was about to leave, Muna stopped him, insisting that he prepare her a meal before leaving. When he refused, she threatened to harm herself and call her father, claiming that Enoch had abused her. She then walked away, leaving Enoch with no choice. He made a call to his secretary, informing her that he would be late and instructing her to hold all his appointments until he arrived. As Enoch cooked, he told Muna that she would be eating a boiled egg. When she tried to outsmart him, he called her bluff and told her to go ahead and call her father because he was ready to explain how she was frustrating all his efforts to help her recover. However, Muna managed to outsmart him in the situation. That same day, Muna called Ivy and complained bitterly about how tired and frustrated she was living under Enoch's roof. She felt trapped and unable to do what she wanted, so she pleaded with her sister to convince their father to let her return home. Ivy understood her frustration and tried to calm her down, promising to do something about it. Later, Ivy went to their father and pleaded on Muna's behalf, explaining how much pain she was in and asking him to allow her to come home. However, their father refused and warned Ivy never to bring up the topic again. He reminded her that Muna had brought this upon herself and that he was only doing what he believed was best for her. With that, he ended the conversation. Muna later received a call from Ivy, confirming that their father had refused her request. This left Muna feeling even more distressed. Hopefully, this really is what's best for Muna. But if you were in Major's position, how would you handle such a situation? The next day at the office, Enoch was fast asleep when his secretary came to wake him up for an appointment. Surprised, she asked if he was okay because it was unlike him to be so exhausted. That same day, Muna attempted to start her exercise routine using a video tutorial. However, she found it too difficult and quickly gave up, returning to eating what she was not supposed to. Later, Enoch met up with his friend and vented about his frustrations. He admitted that Muna was pushing him into depression and questioned how a surgeon like him could be sleeping at work. He explained how exhausted he was from dealing with her constant threats involving her father and how she kept frustrating his efforts. His friend advised him to create a structured routine for Muna's recovery so that she could heal quickly and leave as soon as possible. With that advice in mind, they ended their conversation. When Enoch got home that day, he found Muna drinking alcohol, which was bad for her recovery. He immediately took it away from her, warning that she would only prolong her stay if she continued such behavior. He then informed her that they would start their exercise routine the next day, after which Muna went to her room. The following morning, as they prepared for their exercise, Muna suddenly changed her mind and refused to participate. Enoch ignored her complaints and gave her tea to help with her condition. Not long after, Lillian came to visit Enoch, and when she saw Muna, she started calling her names. Muna wanted to confront her, but Enoch stepped in, firmly warning Lillian never to insult his woman. He then sent her out of his house. Surprised by his reaction, Muna asked why he had defended her, but Enoch remained silent as they went ahead with their exercise. The next day, while Muna was on her phone, Enoch brought her some water and a fruit salad, which she ate. The day after that, while Muna was relaxing, Enoch called her for their exercise session. Feeling tired, she reluctantly started, while Enoch focused on his work on his laptop before later heading to his room. Later that day, Muna called Ivy and told her that everything was going well. Ivy, who had been worried about her, felt relieved. She even teased Muna, asking if she was beginning to like Enoch. They had a lighthearted conversation before ending the call. Not long after, Major arrived and Ivy sent her regards to Muna. 2 days later, Muna had not heard from Enoch, so she decided to call him. Noticing that he didn't sound okay, she asked for permission to see him, and he agreed. When she got to his room, she realized he was feeling unwell. Wanting to show her concern, she shared her progress with him and decided to make him tea. The next morning, while Muna was having breakfast, Enoch came and took her food away, telling her it was not good for her health. From that day on, Muna began to cooperate more. They started enjoying their time together. Sometimes Enoch would even help her put on her shoes, and they had fun in little moments. Their dynamic had started to shift. One day, Enoch came back from work and was surprised to see that Muna had prepared dinner. Curious, he checked the food and playfully made fun of her cooking just to get her attention. However, he secretly loved it. He complimented how attractive the food looked and even praised the cook. They then sat together and enjoyed the meal, savoring each other's company. Wow! It looks like these two, who were always at odds, are finally getting along. But what do you think will happen if they fall in love? Would it be a wise decision, or would it bring more trouble? Share your thoughts as we see how their story unfolds. That night, Major asked Ivy about Muna, and she promised to call her sister. He then told Ivy that he had some good news he wanted to share with her personally, and they enjoyed their time together. That same night, while Enoch was watching a romantic movie, Muna came to join him, and they watched it together. Later, when they were in their respective rooms, emotions began to take over, and they started developing feelings for each other. Enoch eventually went to Muna's room, and they shared an intimate moment, making love for the first time. Afterward, Muna asked Enoch about the woman who had visited him the other day. Enoch explained everything that had happened, clearing any doubts she had. They then enjoyed their moment together, wrapped in love. The next morning, Major unexpectedly arrived, furious about Muna and Enoch's relationship. Somehow he had found out about them, but it was unclear how. Without hesitation, he ordered Muna to pack her things immediately. Enoch tried to express his love for Muna, but Major cut him off and took her away from his house at that very moment. When they got home, Ivy, noticing the unusual tension, asked what had happened. Instead of explaining, Major simply told her to stay in her room until further notice. Determined to find out the truth, Ivy later went to Muna's room, where Muna confided in her. She told Ivy that Enoch had confessed his love to Major, which was why he had taken her away. However, she admitted that she loved Enoch too. Ivy comforted her sister, reassuring her that things would be fine. A few days later, Enoch was in a meeting with his friend. His friend was happy for him, joking that he was now a free man. But Enoch wasn't happy at all. He was deeply in love with Muna and couldn't stop thinking about her. He insisted on going to her house to see Major and talk to him, hoping to make him understand how serious he was about Muna. His friend, however, didn't think it was a good idea. Despite the warning, Enoch was determined to go. His friend eventually agreed, but only time would tell what the outcome would be. Meanwhile, Muna was in her room, reminiscing about the beautiful moments she had shared with Enoch. Those memories meant so much to her. The next day, Ivy decided to talk to their father again. She pleaded with Major to forgive Muna, reminding him that he was the one who had put them together in the first place. Now that they were in love, she argued, he should let them be. However, Major refused and instead insisted that Muna would be traveling to Canada the following week. Before Ivy could continue pleading, one of Major's men came in and informed him that the doctor wanted to see him. Enoch was granted permission to enter, and he immediately apologized for any trouble he had caused the family. He then expressed his deep love for Muna and pleaded with Major not to take her away from him. He said everything he could to convince him, but Major remained unmoved. Instead, he ordered Enoch to leave and warned him never to return or come near his daughter again. With no other choice, Enoch left. Ivy, disappointed by her father's decision, went straight to Muna's room to inform her that Enoch had come to ask for her hand in marriage. Muna, however, was heartbroken when she heard that her father had refused. Later that same day, Enoch returned to Major's house and began causing a disturbance, refusing to leave. Muna, peeking through the window, was thrilled to see him and couldn't hide her happiness. She expressed her love for him, but one of Major's men attempted to threaten Enoch. At that moment, Major and his daughters came outside. Muna and Ivy pleaded with their father one last time, but he was still reluctant. However, when Ivy reminded him of the values he had instilled in them, the importance of standing by each other and defending their happiness, Major finally softened. Realizing the depth of Enoch's love for Muna, he allowed him inside and, to everyone's surprise, congratulated him. He explained that he had only tested Enoch to see if he would truly fight for the woman he loved. In the end, they all celebrated together, and Muna and Ivy appreciated their father for his decision. This movie teaches us that as a man, you should fight for the one you love, but only if that love is mutual. It also reminds us not to give in to peer pressure and to appreciate what we have because it is valuable. Love yourself, embrace your uniqueness, and always stand by those who matter to you. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more exciting updates on the latest Nigerian movies. See you next time.